Ashlee Ridlon is a children's book author from Maine who is out with a new book called The Mermaid Who Sang to the Stars. She's here in the 207 studio with us to talk about it. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much
for
having
being here.
me.
This isn't your first children's book. You've written quite a few.
Yes.
What made you want to start writing them?
Yeah, so I actually have had a long history with reading and writing. I went to school right here in Maine at USM. And for English, and then I graduated with a graduate degree, the ETEP program for elementary ed. So I worked with children my whole life. What got me started was actually my daughter. She has a condition called FPIES, which stands for Food Protein Induced Enterocolitis Syndrome. And what that basically means is that she can be allergic to any protein in any food. So I looked online for something that maybe I could read to her, and I wasn't able to find anything. So I decided then that that would be my first children's book that I was going to write. So fast forward a couple years later, she was a little older and she actually helped me write and design that book, and that's called I Have FPIES. And the cool thing about that book is there's a whole biography at the end that's about Avery's story. So another child that might have this condition or something similar can actually read about a real person that has this and really feel connected, which was what my goal was for her when I started writing that.
That's so inspiring. And you mentioned, so you were a teacher, your mom was a teacher. How does that teacher hat kind of play a role when you're writing these stories?
It has a huge role. So my mom she's a teacher. She's been a teacher in Maine for 29 years now.
Snaps to her.
Yeah, so both my brother and I have both followed in her footsteps. We're both educators. So when I was little, I was surrounded by stories and books, and she really gave us a print-rich home life, and she read to us every single day, and that really started my lifelong love of reading and writing.
The book, The Mermaid Who Sang to the Stars, it's out now for people to enjoy. What was the inspiration behind this story?
Well, I took my teaching background as the inspiration for that story. So this story is about a mermaid named Pearl, who her biggest dream is to become a scientist. She swims every night, and she goes on full moon nights to look at the stars and sing her wishes. And that wish is to become a scientist, just like her mentor, Dr. Marina Tide. But her big problem in the story is that she struggles with science. So this really came about with thinking about my own students. So I taught at the Hanson School, Lebanon, which is where I also grew up and went to school. And a lot of kids struggle with different things. And so we have, a growth mindset perspective there, where it's okay if you don't know how to do something now or yet. You can keep trying and put the effort behind and keep working towards your goal. So this is what this is all about. It's about an empowerment story for children to know that it's okay not to be perfect at everything, and to continue to have those dreams and to use perseverance and keep trying until you can achieve what you want.
I love it. We often talk about on our show that writing a children's book, it seems like it would be really easy to do. It's not always that easy. What advice do you have to other people who are looking to start writing? What would you tell them?
Yeah, so I meet so many different prospective writers and authors at my events that I go to, and I get asked a lot of questions. And so one of my biggest is be an avid reader yourself. I find so much inspiration from other people's stories and reading. And then the second is, like Pearl the Mermaid, to not give up, to keep trying. It might take you a long time to get started, like it did for me. People often ask me, was it your dream to become an author? And I say it should have been, because when I became an author, I'm like, this puts all of the different pieces of my life, and they all came together. And I just fell in love with it, and I knew this was going to be my ambition. But no, writing a children's book or any other book isn't easy. But you can do it. It's achievable, and it's more achievable now than ever because of self-publishing. My advice is to learn everything that you can about writing a children's book and publishing, and there's so many courses and wonderful leaders out there teaching, and then just to go for it.
All right, we'll have to leave it at that. Thank you so much for coming in and sharing your story. You can learn more about The Mermaid Who Sang to the Stars and Ashlee's upcoming events on our website and app. 207 is back right after this.